My name is Nigel May, and the guest cat flap is open this afternoon and sticking their heads through this afternoon because we've got two guests, are the fabulous Jinkx Monsoon, former Drag Race winner, and her musical partner, the wonderful Major Scales. They are on tour together right now with their tour Together Again. They say it's going to be the final time. I don't believe that for a second. Let's find out as we say good afternoon to Jinkx and Major.
Good afternoon.
Hiya. It is so good to speak to you, and you are back together again. The new tour has started this week. You are currently in residence at the Leicester Square Theatre in London, and then you are taking it around the country right the way through until June. Tell us about this tour then, Jinkx. So Together Again, what's going on?
The show itself is set in the year 2065, and Jinkx Monsoon and Major Scales haven't performed together for decades. So they've come together for one final reunion tour in their late 70s. So it's kind of a hypothetical retrospective because we play ourselves many years into the future, reflecting back on our careers, but all things that haven't happened yet. And so that's the premise of the show, but it's actually kind of now post-pandemic, the show has taken on a deeper meaning because the show is about two performers who haven't performed together in a while coming together again. And in real life, that's exactly what we're doing. You know, we had to take a 2-year hiatus from doing our tours and performing together, and now we're taken to the stage once more. So both the characters and the actors are experiencing a reunion.
Absolutely. Because you two guys on stage, I've got to say, I mean, Jinkx and Major Scales together, it is a musical marriage made in heaven. I mean, your previous shows, The Ginger Snapped and The Vaudevillians, huge success and hugely unique as well. Major Scales, can I ask you, what is life like on the road with Jinkx Monsoon? Because on stage, she does give you a bit of a grilling now and again.
Yeah, this is true. You know, I would certainly say there's never a dull moment. When we started working together early on, you know, we started working together in college, in uni, if you will. A lot of our character work was ourselves, but exaggerated to 100. So I'm not going to say that we're that mean to each other off stage, but we're borrowing from real life in a loving sort of way.
We're not mean to each other, but we don't hold anything back. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm a mean person, but, you know, the way that I talk to my friends, if you didn't get to hear the intonation and if you didn't have the context, on paper it might seem like someone being mean, but when you know me, you know that that's my love language.
So if we talk about you guys as characters then, I mean, you're getting back together after 45 years for the first time to be together again. Surely, I mean, you've said that this is the final reunion. I mean, obviously you can't wait another 45 years because time may not be on your side. But the thing is this really the final reunion? It can't be, surely.
Oh, absolutely not. No, we're taking a page out of Cher's book and starting our farewell tours now.
We've got at least 45 years of farewell tours in us, I think.
Yeah. So, no, but if you look at the premise of the show and realize that it's us playing ourselves in our 70s, then, you know, maybe in our actual 70s, that would be our final reunion. But the truth is we're in our 30s and we've still got at least a handful of more good performing years together.
Wait until we've got a little bit more saved for retirement, then we'll start.
What about the look on stage then? Because I'm assuming if it's 45 years into the future, because you are both, as you say, in the, you know, the first flushes of life, are we going to get some fabulous Death Becomes Her type aging makeup? What are we going to get on stage as far as the look is concerned?
Yes, I'm going to put my head on backwards. We've imagined ourselves in our 70s, and you know, we've still got a lot going for us. But yeah, we do a little bit of age makeup. We had custom hair done for the show, not just for me, but also for Major.
Yes.
And then our costumes, like my styling is very much inspired by Glenn Close in the film 102 Dalmatians, the lesser celebrated sequel. And Major's kind of fashioned himself after.
Well, I'd say Major's older character is more of an older character in the 70s in sort of a swingers, turtleneck and suit sort of way. Much more conservative, but still fashionable.
Yeah. Whereas Jinkx is a fashion forward woman of a certain age. And she's, I think the styling of Jinkx, besides being inspired by Glenn Close, the overall joie de vivre of Jinkx in her 70s is very much inspired by Patricia Quinn. I had lunch with her, Major and I had lunch with her with our friend Peaches Christ, and taking in Patricia Quinn for an afternoon. I was like, yeah, this is how I see myself in the future. And I very much fashioned the character after her.
Life goals right there. Jinkx and Major, we will talk again in a few hot seconds, but right now let's play a tune here on Gadio. It's Nigel here on Gadio on this Sunday afternoon, and I'm speaking to Jinkx Monsoon and Major Scales about their new production, Together Again, that sees them getting back together, their characters, after 45 years of living in faded obscurity, something that I think neither of them will have liked. Guys, your sort of relationship on stage, you kind of bicker with each other, don't you? Is that what we can expect in this production as well?
There's always been a little hint of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf in our characters, and I think you're going to see a lot of that simmering up. Some old grudges, some past resentments that are going to start showing through as the concert goes on.
Yeah, and what I love about playing ourselves in our twilight years is I think what I'm most excited about being an older person is that when you reach a certain age, you really get to just do and say and behave any way you want. So, and so for these characters, it's like things that might have once been unspoken resentments or little tinges of jealousy. Now, as old people, they have nothing left to lose, so they just really
lay it all out there.
Yeah. But our onstage chemistry, it's funny because it's like there's so much poking at each other and so much, little needling each other. But it's also very, very clear that these two people need each other because on their own, they might possess some magic, but together the magic is palpable.
There seems to be very much a, not love-hate, but a love kind of / you get on my nerves kind of relationship when you two are together on stage as your characters. I mean, Jinkx, I can't imagine for 1 second that Jinkx Monsoon would have taken to being a faded TV starlet. She must have felt that was, not befitting of her genius.
Well, there's a thing known as delusion, and some people can make themselves very, very happy when they ignore obvious truths, and that's what Jinkx Monsoon, the character, is pretty well known for, convincing herself that she is the star that she always wanted to be.
And Major Scales for you as well. I mean, fading into obscurity. I mean, as a character, did you take that well?
Oh, well, some people call it fading into obscurity, but I think Major was very happy with some of the work that he was able to do, writing some premiere kitty litter jingles. He was still finding his way, but I think you'll find he has definitely still some strong resentments towards the faded starlet who maybe left him a little bit further behind than she ended up.
It's a fun juxtaposition because you've got the one who's trying to maintain his integrity, who's faded into obscurity, and then the other who's a complete sellout and may have had her moment in the sun, but now she's kind of just the laughing stock of the Actors Equity Union.
So what would Jinkx and Major think would be the best thing about fame? I imagine, because you would come at sort of fame from polar opposites, I would imagine Jinkx would literally wallow in it, whereas Major would maybe want to sort of more lurk in the shadows.
That's a very interesting question. I think, this is a place where Jinkx and Major would probably find some
find some common ground.
Yeah, because I think the thing they both like the most is the abundancy of casual consensual sex.
Yes.
That's a winner. Do you know, I can say no better than that. Can I say thank you to the pair of you? Jinkx and Major, we look forward to seeing you on stage together again, and we hope you do it again in the future as well. Thank you, and lots of love from us all here at Gadio.
Thank you. Have a great